Hey so today I am here to give you guys an educational Amazon haul. Before I get into that, I did want to say thank you for all the well wishes yesterday. I just was not feeling the best. I feel better today, but it also is an afternoon. That nausea is kind of a new thing, but it's been around like every afternoon. I get really nauseous, and yesterday I was doing a lot of housework and I don't think that helped anything, and I don't think I was drinking enough water yesterday either, and it was really hot, so combination of things just made me feel really crappy. But also, happy Independence Day, 4th of July to my fellow Americans out there. But yes, this Amazon educational haul all started because of some sight words, and it just quickly spiraled into its own thing. So what I was doing was I was really trying to find a good list of sight words to start with Sophie. Obviously, there are so many, but I really wanted to make it easier on myself. I didn't know if there were ones that she should be learning first, you know, like if there was a certain order, things like that. So I did find a website literally called sightwords.com, and they actually had printable lists so we can kind of keep everything straight, because sight words can be kind of overwhelming. You know, when you look at flashcards and stuff, they're like a set of 300. So it all started with that, and the first thing that I went out and I bought is I just went to Walmart and I got some index cards and an index box holder, and I just made my own index cards, like flashcards, for these sight words. I thought it was going to be way easier than trying to pick out sight words from certain flashcard packs and making sure they all have them on there. So as you can see, I just went through and I made my own flashcards, and as she gets to master them, I'll keep them in there obviously so she can continue to practice them, but I will just keep making more and more and more. Right now, I think, yeah, I decided 5 at a time seemed like the best for her. After 5, she just kind of gets distracted, doesn't want anything to do with it. But I also got this too, so I could make some flashcards with Remy for her alphabet, lowercase, uppercase, and also her numbers, because Remy does need to work on those things. I got that stuff relatively inexpensive from Walmart. And then I also did, in some of my grocery pickup orders, I got a couple things, like some glue sticks, just some Elmer's glue sticks, and then I also got a real pair of scissors. I still like the scissors that I've mentioned before in the past. I'll link those down there for you guys. I'll try to link everything that I can down below. But Sophie uses these scissors at preschool. She mastered them at preschool. She does not like cut herself or try to cut her hair or anything like that. And she still gets supervised with them at school and also at home. But I just thought it was time to upgrade her, because the bladeless ones that we have that do not cut hair are great for Remy, who's still learning how to hold scissors, manipulate them, stuff like that. But for someone who is at preschool already, like Sophie, and is already using these anyways when she's there, I decided it was time. And plus, when they do start to master the scissors and just get a general concept of how they work, the bladeless ones can be a little frustrating. So the first thing I got from Amazon were these My First pencils. This brand is a really good brand. I got smaller ones at the start of the year for Sophie to use at home. These ones are just the black ones. They're great, but these are too small for Remy to hold. She just really can't get a good grasp on them. She still has relatively small hands. She's only 3 years old. So I just thought these would be nice for her, because when we do printouts with the girls that require the pencils, I give them each a sheet. Like, even if Remy can't do it, I still give her one and allow her to do what she can with it. But she gets frustrated with those pencils. And speaking of the pencils, I wanted to go ahead and get these pencil grips, because I found out that how to correctly hold a pencil or marker, colored pencil, whatever, is actually really important when they're going to kindergarten. So I found these on Amazon, came in a pack of 4, pretty inexpensive, but it's just going to slide onto the pencil. It allows them to put their fingers in correctly and hold the pencil in a correct way. Sophie does have a pretty good grip on the pencil. I don't know that it's 100% correct, but I just felt like if I slip those on pencils now and she just gets to gets used to using them, by the time we're in kindergarten, she should be able to hold the pencil correctly. Another reason why I wanted to get the bladed scissors and also the glue sticks was because I wanted to get this workbook, which was cut and paste, and basically it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a bunch of activities where they're going to have to cut out things, paste them, make it make sense, you know, figure out whatever they're asking, things like that. Just trying to give you a glance at different pages here, but I wanted her to be able to cut them out, not be frustrated that the bladeless scissors were giving her a hard time or anything like that. But this actually looks like a pretty good book, and I will say for these workbooks, I do think the best price generally is on Amazon, because I saw this at Walmart and they wanted around $4, I think, and on Amazon I know I didn't pay any more than $3, so it might be $1 here and there, but if you have Prime already, it might be a better deal to just go with that. I know the lighting in here is probably really strange from background to like what my face looks like, because the ceiling fan and our bedroom light has warm lights in it, but we got new bedside table lamps and they have the LED bulbs that are more of like a cool light, so we kind of got a little bit of both going on here. I'm gonna have to find a better setting on my camera to accommodate it, but I didn't want to mess with it today. The next thing is another thing for kindergarten readiness. I saw in a lot of different lists that rhyming was a big part of it, so I got these flashcards. I do have a couple printable activities, but I only have like I think 4 sheets, and I wanted her to be able to get more experience than just those. And I thought these were nice, especially because it does have real pictures on there, and it does come with 54 flashcards. If you can get real pictures, I highly recommend it, because it just makes things a little bit easier on them to understand, because some of my printables have obviously pictures of whatever we're trying to rhyme, but she doesn't really understand because the picture might not look exactly like what the thing is. And then the next thing I got was another kindergarten readiness. It was only on a couple lists, so I don't really know that this is something that they need to know for kindergarten, but this is something that Sophie has a version of at school. I've seen her play with it, so I know she'll be interested with it. But it is a set of geometrical shapes. They came in this little baggie. I only paid like $10 for this set. I just want to show you an example of what's all in here, because there are quite a few of them. And like I said, they are pretty nice for only paying $10. As you can see, they are finished. You don't have to worry about stuff like unfinished edges or anything like that. And there are a few that I'm not showing you, but I just wanted to kind of give you a general idea. If you're interested in them, just check out the listing, because then you can see all the shapes that are included. I also don't know all the names of these shapes, so it'll be good practice for mom too. Like I said, it was only on a couple of recommendations for kindergarten readiness, so I'm sure it's not something that every school wants them to know. And even then, on those lists, they only wanted them to know like 3, like cube, sphere, cylinder, that kind of thing. But Sophie does have a huge set at her preschool that she loves, so I knew that it would still get used in our house regardless if it's something she needs to know or not. I just will say they are smaller pieces, so if you have younger kids who put stuff in their mouths, be very much aware, because obviously there are some tiny little shapes in there. Next up is something that I got more for Sophie rather than the both of them, and that is the Eeboo Create a Story card set. This one is Volcano Island. There are different sets that you can get. I actually haven't even taken them out of the packaging, but basically they're just these little cards that have little illustrations on them, and they get to make up the story that they want to go along with whatever the picture is. And I got these for Sophie because she is very much into doing that. Not just like with pictures, but just in general, she really likes making up stories right now. It's been kind of a new development with her that has been really awesome, but these are what the cards look like. So, you know, you just give them a card and they make up their own little story. And I really love the idea of it because, you know, this is something she could take along in the car with her, and she could do this in the car, you know, give her something to do rather than maybe ask a million questions while mom and dad are trying to focus on driving. But either way, even if it's just at home, I thought these were really cool, like a nice little stimulation for creativity. And like I said, she's just been interested in just kind of doing it when she's playing anyways, and kind of coming up with her own stories about everything. So I just thought it was a really cool set. And then the last two things were some workbooks. And this was another reason why I wanted to go ahead and get some of this stuff, because Sophie was coloring in her coloring books, and I actually noticed that most of the time she actually wasn't coloring anymore. She was doing the activity pages in them, which is something that neither of the girls have ever paid attention to before. They would just skip over them. So she wanted to do crossword puzzles, she wanted to do word searches and, you know, spot the differences, stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna order her something. Now I will say, all of this stuff, I'm not going to make it like a structured thing throughout summer. You know, this is her time off from school. I definitely don't think it's the healthiest to do 365 days a year of education. I think their little brains need some rest. I think it's very well deserved. But at the same time, if she wants to do activities, I thought, why not get her a couple books? So I got this one, which is called Little Thinkers, but from the same brand, also Big Kindergarten. Now she's not in kindergarten, she also is going to do one more year of preschool before she even gets ready to go to kindergarten. But I was looking at the reviews and kind of what people had to say about the preschool books, and it seemed like she already knew quite a bit of it. It focused a lot on letters, numbers, shapes, colors, which is great. And honestly, my 3-year-old could probably use it. I probably should have got that for her. Maybe I'll go back on right now and get that. But for Sophie, she's past that. So I did want to get her something that was still challenging, because she does really like the activities that she can find in her coloring books that I think are well past her age. So this has a ton of different stuff. It was one of the best reviewed. It just looked like it offered a lot in here. So that's the reason why I went with it. And it was also pretty inexpensive. I tried to look for a specific table of contents, but it doesn't have it. It just says beginning sounds, early math, following directions, shapes and measurements, and reading readiness. Now, I will say, you know, if your kids know their ABCs, uppercase, lowercase, they know numbers 1 through 20, they know their general shapes, their general colors, stuff like that, I think that this is a pretty good option. I mean, read the reviews, you know, you can look for yourself, because a lot of the reviews had some pictures, which was really great to kind of look through. I also got her this Little Thinkers one because I wanted to focus on rhyming, opposites, story order, and addition and subtraction. Now, this book is tiny, as you can see. Super, super thin. How many pages is in this? 32, so not a lot. I plan with this book to probably take these pages out and put them into those little covers where they can use dry erase markers on them. This one is so huge, there's a ton to do in it. I'll just let her go away at it with a regular pencil. But to kind of preserve these pages that are a little bit more specific in what they're teaching, I'm just going to slip these into those protectors and let her do it with a dry erase marker. But I liked this one because, again, with the rhyming and also the story order, that's just something that's kind of hard to find in some books. These are a little bit more specific. There was also a couple other ones that I wanted to get, but these are each around $2 or $3, and like I said, you're not getting much at all. So I just wanted to start with one. And like I said, none of this stuff is going to be strict. She needs to do it every day or anything like that. It's just going to be practicing here and there. Honestly, with the workbooks and the create a story cards, I'm probably just going to leave those out for her to get, so she can just go ahead and do those whenever and let me know when she wants to do them. I mean, the story cards she doesn't need me for, but in case she needs my help with the workbooks or something, just so it's like, it's her decision to do. Now, with the scissors, the small geometrical shapes, the flashcards, things like that, those are things that I'll help her with. I do think that I am going to go back on and I'm going to order the preschool one for Remy, because now that I think about it, She really doesn't have any worksheets or anything like that, so if her sister has her book out, she'll probably want a book out too. So I probably will go back on and order that, but I will link all the stuff that I got off of Amazon down below like I told you guys. I hope this was helpful for anybody who is maybe looking for some educational stuff over the summer, but a little bit different. Like I said, I didn't want anything super structured. I'm not a homeschooler or anything. Just a little something over the summer, a little something to stimulate her mind when she wants to. But it also was a big enough haul price-wise that I thought I would share it with you guys, and I thought I found some pretty good finds as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.